Good morning, Queens. Welcome to today's Daily Dazzle. This is a Daily Dazzle that you never want to miss, right? Welcome in, Women on a Mission, you, the purpose driven woman who is here to change the world, starting with your life, starting with today. And there's a lot of fire flowing through my bones right here this morning. So fair warning, okay? Who knows what's going to happen today? All right, so welcome, come on in. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know if this is the first time of joining me here on the Daily Dazzle. So welcome, come on in. Today we are talking about a quote from Lou Holtz, and it says, winners embrace hard work. And I know that as women on a mission, you embrace whatever it takes, right? You're the woman willing to do whatever it takes. Winners embrace hard work. They love the discipline of it. The trade-off that they're making to win. The losers, on the other hand, see it as a punishment, and that's the difference, right? So are you winning in your life today? Because I know that that's what you're called to. And I know that you are the woman who's here, who's willing to embrace whatever it takes. That's what I keep hearing today. Whatever it takes. You're the woman with a fire in your belly, the purpose-driven woman who is getting up out of bed, who's taking the action required for her day, whatever that looks like for you right here, right now, right? The woman on a mission. The woman who is purpose driven, that is you, that is who you are. And everyone say, I am that woman below. Let me hear it in the comments. I am that woman. I am that woman. So welcome, say hello as you come in and you're viewing this beautiful Daily Dazzle today, where there is fire coming out of me, coming through me, coming from heaven. All of the things are happening today because we are talking about one of the things that I have mentioned to you over and over again throughout the time that we've been sharing through this book, Live Your Dreams. And the story that I'm going to share with you today, it's coming out of Terry's story, Terry Savelle Foy, who this book is by. And yet when I read it, it's like I'm reading my own story. So as you listen today, I want you to think about it from your perspective. I want you to embody it. I want you to go all in on yourself today, right? Because I'm just needing to clear my glasses. Let's do that. I was too excited. They're fogged up already. All right. Because what I want you to know, girls, is somebody is waiting on your dream. There is a person, even today, as I speak, they're waiting on you to take action, to take the required action. So let's get into this. And as I said, and in reading this story, and I knew what story it was as soon as I glanced at the first few lines here, and I thought, yes, this is my story, right? So I'm going to ad-lib here a lot today because I'm talking and sharing with you my story. And Terry goes and starts, years before I was living my dream. You know, I was just speaking about this last night to some of my clients, right? My desire to live my best life, right? And I was living it, and I was unaware that I was already living it, right? Years before I was living my dream, she says, I was driving to work listening to faith-building messages. Now, years before I ever started on this journey of being a coach in coaching women, actually, it was because I was coaching as a young woman in my early 20s in my career. And then I started having my children. And while I was having my children, every day who remembers the VHS recorders, right? The good old videotapes. I would set my videotape and I would record all of these positive, uplifting, inspirational channels that were on from like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. They were faith-based, and I would record them. And then every day, every afternoon, I would listen to them all afternoon. I would write notes of the things that I was learning through what I was listening to. So whilst I was pregnant, whilst I was breastfeeding, whilst I was raising my babies, right? At that time where there was days and weeks that one never left the house because the nappies and the babies and all of the things that were happening, right? I was, right, doing this whole press play, listening to faith-building messages, listening to uplifting messages, right? And Terry goes on to say with her story, when she suddenly realized and heard a statement that shook her up. And I know that this same thing happened for me way, way, way back when, right? And it would have even happened, I think, in my late teens, in my early 20s. And then, you know, we ignore things for a period of time in our lives. We push them aside, right? And I've even done it later in life. We push aside the dreams, the hopes, the things that we know that we're called to, the things that we're meant to do. We tell ourselves, I can't, and allow disappointment to surround us and focus on the things that aren't happening for us rather than focusing on the things that are and the things that you can take action on and you can do, right? So Terry hears this statement that shook her up. Somebody in need is waiting on the other side of your obedience. And you know, maybe you're here today and maybe you're my person that is on the other side of my obedience, on the other side of my taking action, on the other side of grasping hold and pursuing my mission and fulfilling my vision and allowing myself to dream and igniting my imagination. Because girls, this is what it takes, and this is what it takes every single day, okay? So she says the minister said it twice, and then the audio that she was listening to ended. Somebody in need is waiting on the other side of your obedience. Somebody in need is waiting for you, purpose-driven woman, woman on a mission, right here, right now, watching this Daily Dazzle. Somebody in need is waiting for you. Somebody who has a greater need than the disappointment and the discouragement that you're feeling in your life right here, right now. There's somebody in need who's waiting for you to stand up on the inside, to show up in your life, to speak up and use your voice. Somebody in need is waiting for you. Just like maybe you're the woman that's been waiting for me, right? We get to show up. We get to stand up. We get to speak up and make ourselves available for the calling, for the pursuit of passion and the dreams and the vision that is your DNA. It was given to you in your design, in your makeup, right? And we can allow the circumstances of life to throw us off course, to take us out of action. And it's happened to me plenty of times, let me tell you, right? I can write the book on redefining and restarting your life, right? I can write the book on embodying shame, fear, guilt, disappointment, blame, all of those things, right? Or you get to decide to write a new book and write a new chapter because somebody in need is waiting on the other side of your obedience and your action. So as these words replayed in Terry's head, just like they replay in mine, and I can really feel it because they replay in my mind every week. I tell myself this, I remind myself of this every time I don't feel like coming and being so dazzling perhaps, right? I have my moments too. Yet before I come, that feeling dissipates because I choose to show up for the woman who's waiting on the other side of my action, right? Somebody that has a greater need than what I do is waiting, just like there's somebody, and it might be your children, it might be your husband, it might be your parents, it might be extended family, it might be the people in your workplace. They are waiting for you to show up. Oh, goodness me. All right. And so we can sit back on our laurels though and step off and stand and sit, over here on the sideline where we're kind of unseen, and where even right now you're able to not see me, right? We can hide ourselves. We can make ourselves small, right? Because what would it be like to be seen, what would it be like to show up? What would it be like to stand up? What would it be like to speak up and use our voice so that somebody can be touched by your life, so that somebody can have and to glean from your life and what you have to offer. So could somebody really be waiting on you to get your act together? Could somebody really be waiting for me to get my act together? And you can tell yourself, nah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Just like Terry did. Just like I've done at different times when I've walked away. No, nobody needs me. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants to hear from me. Nobody wants to see me. I've been there. I've told myself that story so many times. So many times. And I've shrunk down, right? And Terry says I would finish the drive to work, but I continued to get up each morning and invest in myself. I would continue to get up every day and press play on my VHS recorder. I would get up every day and press play and listen and sit down with I've still got a lot of these journals that I've had for my eldest son's 31 this year. I've had them for 30 plus years. These notes that I've written from the teachings that I've listened to. Why keep them? Well, I don't know. I'm just not ready to part with them yet. And that's okay. All right. So I ask you, as you continue to get up each day, to invest in yourself, to push yourself, to choose to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone and allow yourself to show up, allow yourself to stand up, allow yourself to use your voice and speak up, and to trust God to help you to live your dream. See, you're never alone. I know sometimes you think you need to do it alone. God is available. Your higher power, God, source, provider is there. You're never alone. I had a beautiful moment yesterday when I spoke to my client and I asked her about how she was feeling about what she was struggling with when it came to God and things like that. She said, well, I know I'm never alone. I'm never alone. And that's for you too. You're never alone. You never have to do things alone. So many women isolate themselves, and they isolate themselves from other women. They isolate themselves rather than go to a retreat that can change their life because of their fear of women, because of their experiences that they've had. This community, I'm unavailable for that. This community is a safe community for every woman to show up for her dreams. This is a community that's safe for you to pursue your mission, to connect with it, to find out what it is even, because I know, I also worked with a client recently who came to me who had no clue. She didn't know what her mission was. She didn't know what her vision was. She didn't know what her purpose was, right? And we're actually just finishing up her working with me, and she has so much passion and commitment and drive and intentional purpose about her life. She knows the mission. She knows what she's been called for. She's gained the clarity. She's gained the confidence, and she's working towards it and taking the steps, right? And this is available for you. This is available for you too. So you can allow God, you can allow other people, you can allow a coach, a mentor, trainer like myself to walk beside you in this journey. So Terry goes on and she says, today, when I hear stories of lives affected because they read one of my books, the stories of women that I've heard who've read my book, Real Women, real stories, and even the experience that the women had by participating in that powerful writing of their stories, the impact that that had on their lives, and the women that have gone on to now write a complete book on their own, in their own right, in their own authorship, right? Their whole life story in a book, right? Because of the experience, because I chose to connect with my dream. I chose to go, there is a woman, there are people waiting on the other side of my action, my obedience of doing and connecting with who I am and who I'm called to be, right? And you get to do the same thing, right? The women that message me when they have watched the Daily Dazzle, or they've read a post, Jan, you were speaking to me today, and I know that I'm speaking to many of you here today. So connect with me, comment, partake, participate. Let's go, okay? Right? Because I know many women say, oh, I watched that video, that was so good, it spoke to me, it so helped me. You have no idea the messages and how they're supporting me and how it's helping me to get through each day and make decisions, right? I get the messages. Whether you comment here or not, I get the messages. However, I want to welcome you to comment, to participate, because your words, you showing up right here, you standing up right here, you speaking up right here is helping to serve another woman, to allow herself to be seen, to allow herself to, rather than hide over here, she can be seen, she can come out fully embracing her calling and her mission. And each one of us has a part to play. Each one of us is called, right, to support other people in some way or other. And she says, I can't help but thank God that I crushed the fears in my head. And I'm so grateful for being able to walk the walk, crush the fears, dissolve the shame, slay the dragons, right? Defeat the insecurities. Like, I had the confidence on my face, yet what was happening on the inside of me, the fear, the torture, the trauma that was inside of me, right? I hid it all. And now, right, we've crushed it, right? And every day I get to crush it. Every day I get to show up and say, I'm here because I know somebody is waiting on my dream. Yeah. And for yours too. So you get to go the extra mile to live your dreams, right? Rather than live in complacency and safety and comfort, okay? You get to go the extra mile for your mission. You get to go the extra mile for your dreams. So even when you don't feel like it, even when you're feeling discouragement, disappointment, that's all around you. I know, I get it. I've experienced it, right? And you get to make another decision. So my question for you is this: who could be waiting for you? Who is on the other side of your action? Who is on the other side of your obedience, your willingness to take the action? Whose life will be impacted because you chose to push yourself? You dared to dream a big dream, and you dared to never give up on your dream, because this is what I've determined. I've determined I will never give up on my dream. I will see the fulfillment of my vision. I will see the outworking of the mission that I am called to as a woman on a mission, as a woman who has purpose and is purpose driven, right? You developed success habits and you went the extra mile. That's who you are. You're the woman that's dreaming the big dream. You're the woman with the mission. You're the woman who's developed the success habits to support her in the hard times, in the simple times, right? And you choose to go the extra mile. See, your destiny is a direct result of your next decision. So how things happen over the next 2 years, or maybe it's the next 2 days, or 2 months, or 2 years, or 20 years, whatever it is, right, will be a direct result of the decisions that you make right here, right now. And making the right decisions to never settle, to never stay comfortable, and to never allow the pressure to convince you to quit will require 4 little words from you. 4 little words is all that's required. Do you want to know what those 4 little words is? Maybe somebody can type it in the chat who's watching there. Thank you for joining me, girls. Type this in the chat. These 4 words is all that's required for you. These words are a little bit more. That's all that's required. A little bit more, right? Successful people do what's expected of them, plus a little bit more. Poet William Arthur Ward summed up the key to success when he wrote, "Plan while others are playing. Plan while others are playing. Study while others are sleeping. Decide while others are delaying. Prepare while others are daydreaming. Begin while others are procrastinating. Work while others are wishing. Save while others are wasting. Listen while others are talking. Smile while others are frowning. Commend while others are criticizing. Persist while others are quitting." What a powerful, simplistic poem, right, by William Arthur Ward. And I think I'll post that up in the group so that you can take a copy of it and read it, because I think sometimes we overcomplicate our lives and think and talk about how hard things are, rather than allowing yourself to tap into the simplicity of a little bit more, because somebody is waiting on the other side of your action. Somebody is waiting for your dream. Somebody is waiting for your mission. Will you choose to connect with it? Will you choose to step in to the confidence that's available for you? And you can come into the confidence codes later this week, Thursday, Friday and Saturday at 7 a.m. And if you want to be a part of that, message me. I would love to have you join us. So today, rewind this Daily Dazzle, go back to the start and rewatch it, and journal some notes and journal some things that are being spoken to you. Write it down. The power of writing down the messages that you're receiving through these Daily Dazzles, because I know that there are messages and there are voices, God speaking to people in this room right now. That's what I'm getting, okay? There's messages that are being downloaded. There's action for you to take, right? And you get to take the action. You get to align yourself to your mission and live your life in fulfillment and in joy, because you matter. Let's go, girls. Let's go. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.